everyone, I am back to do another brand. This is probably going to be the last one I do today because I've been doing a few already. But I'm starting a series on reviewing US brands live for you. And the next one on the list here in our group is from Rena, and she suggested I review plant therapy. So we will be going over here and checking this out. All right, so let's go ahead to singles, and then I will review their blends. I have reviewed some of their blends at eoblendsafety.com, by the way. So let's take a look at allspice. Now, this is an essential oil that has a lot of different safety issues. Let's see if I can click the X on this, which I cannot do. Sorry about that. It doesn't look like I can. So let's see what they have for their safety issues here and see if they line up. So we have allspice. This is one of the few that I do not recommend using at all because it is so risky. So they're recommending 0.3% for topical use. According to Essential Oil Safety, that should be 0.15% if chosen to use topically. Let's see, where is their safety for... Do they not have a tab for safety? Okay, so they are suggesting diffuse, massaging into your abdomen. So that does go over 1 drop of allspice and 2 drops of carrier oil. That even goes over the topical max that they recommend right here, which is too much, 2 times too high, according to Essential Oil Safety that recommends 0.15%. So a drop of allspice and 2 drops of carrier oil would be like a 30%. So I don't recommend that you follow that guideline. It does look like they have several different test reports. I'm assuming one of these is the most recent one, so that's good. Disclaimer. So I'm not seeing anything here letting you know that this is anti-coagulant. There should be warnings here that you should not use if taking aspirin or other blood thinners. This is also potentially carcinogenic. It's not recommended or safe to use if pregnant or breastfeeding. I'm not sure if they have that here, so that doesn't even tell you there either. And it's not safe to use around your pets. So even if you choose to use this one, you still have, there's still some safety guidelines that you need to follow. It also looks like their botanical name is different than Pimenta officinalis. So I'm not sure why this is not your generic allspice. I'm not sure. Let's see if Essential Oil Safety has this particular kind listed. It's an unusual kind of allspice, so let me check it out and see if it's even in this one. Let's see, LMN, allspice. I'm not even seeing that here. It could be because this might be actually listed under pimento or something. I'll have to look that up later. So yeah, this safety information is not accurate on here. So let's take a look at another one. Hey Hannah, you can watch the replay, no problem. Okay, so basil linalool. So this is the one, this is the basil that I do recommend. So that's good to see they have that. Let's see for bergamot. This is one that I always like to check because this is phototoxic. It says this particular one is actually bergaptan free. Typically the bergaptan free is in fact steam distilled. So theirs is cold pressed. It's bergaptan free, which is good because then we don't have to worry about phototoxic reaction. So we don't have to worry if that has a disclaimer for that or not. Let's take a look at... Okay, so they do have camphor white. That is preferred. That is good. So cardamom is one that is high in 1,8 cineol, or at least it should be if it's genuine. And interestingly, they have a KidSafe label on this. So cardamom generally is going to have enough 1,8-cineol that it's not going to be safe for under the age of 10. It's very interesting. I thought they had a safety section, but I'm not actually seeing that anymore. So they have a general disclaimer. This looks the same as the other one that I saw. So they have a general disclaimer. I am not seeing anything specific, but this should be for ages 10 and above. So that's very interesting. Actually, this could be the one. I think somebody brought this to my attention before. If their GCMS report is reflecting less than 40% of 1,8-cineol, then that technically would be safe for kids. However, genuine cardamom essential oil should have more than 40% of 1,8-cineol in it. So it looks like the max is 35%. So that could be why they have this flagged as KidSafe. But it brings a question to my mind. If this doesn't have enough 1,8-cineol, then what else in here is too much perhaps? And also, is this going to be effective? Because cardamom is effective for respiratory issues based on the high 1,8-cineol. So that's interesting that it has unusually low cineol in it. Carrot seed essential oil. This is one that is not safe for use during pregnancy or breastfeeding, which it looks like they do have listed here. So that is good to know. It's good for you to know. I mean, I know how to use essential oils, but I'm trying to keep a lookout for you guys. And if you guys are on here not knowing certain safety issues, you could be purchasing essential oils and using them incorrectly, and putting yourself in harm's way based on you not knowing the things that should be on here. But not every company actually has everything listed out. Okay, so cinnamon cassia. Usually cassia is sold as cassia, but let's take a look at cinnamon bark first. This is not safe for use during pregnancy, which they do have here. That's good to know. Yeah. So cinnamon should be 0.01%, not 0.1%. So that's a little bit off. Let's see what they have for directions, description. Yeah, I'm not actually seeing anything here. So there should be a warning here. If you are on blood thinners, even if you are taking a baby aspirin, this is anti-coagulant. So you should be aware of that if that pertains to you or not. As far as you may not be on aspirin, but if you are prone to nosebleeds, or if you are about to have surgery, if you just had surgery, that is something that you want to know. That is something that people need to know. Cassia is one, let's go back here to cassia. Let me just make sure that they have, okay, so the topical max for this one is correct. It is not safe for pregnancy and breastfeeding. I'm not seeing, okay, so it does say not KidSafe. I was going to say, I'm not seeing anything saying do not use topically under the age of 2. And I also don't see anywhere where they are letting you know that this is anticoagulant. I am not seeing that here at all. Well, that's interesting. So the toothpick trick, that is not very accurate. You may not, in fact, be getting, you may be getting too much. You may not be getting enough at all. Let's see. Disclaimer. So this is your generic disclaimer here too. Yeah, nothing here saying do not use if you are on blood thinners, aspirin, about to have surgery, all of that. There are also drug interactions, and this should not be used on broken skin. None of that I'm seeing here at all. Okay, so let's move on to clove bud has issues as well, but let's kind of skip past. I know I spend a lot of time on the essential oils that are alphabetically, in the beginning. So let me skip to eucalyptus. It is correct. This is not recommended for children under the age of 10. And the purpose, I'm glad they have this here, But the whole purpose of not having around the face of children is so they don't breathe it. So you want to avoid them breathing it. So if that means that you are diffusing and they can smell it, that is breathing it, and that is not going to be safe. Directions are topical application, dilute to 2 to 4%. Well, that's not going over the topical max, but typically eucalyptus is going to be used for congestion, and in which case you want to inhale it. There is not going to be a need to apply it topically. Fennel essential oil, as I've mentioned many other times for any other company that has this as well, this is a very risky essential oil, which I am glad I'm seeing now that they do have here. It is potentially carcinogenic. That I'm not seeing spelled out here, but it can cause issues if you have endometriosis, if you've had estrogen-dependent cancers. That is something that you want to be very, very careful of. It also has a 2.5% topical max, so they are saying here 2% topical max. So I am glad that they do have the warning here. I personally prefer to recommend avoiding it completely because it is very risky. So let's see what else they have. I'm looking for essential oils that have known safety issues so that I can check and make sure that they have the safety information listed for you. And kumquat. That's such a funny name, isn't it? All right, lavandin. So lavandin is not like lavender. I've mentioned this before. It's actually potentially, it is anticoagulant. See here. So this is an anticoagulant essential oil. So far, I have not seen any anticoagulant warnings for the essential oils that are anticoagulant. So that to me is pretty important when it comes to our blood being too thin and not properly clotting. This is safe for children, so that is correct. It does have drug interactions though, which I don't know if they have included. So this disclaimer is so far seems to be the same across the board. No matter which one I click on, the disclaimer is the same. Directions. Okay. All right. So I was looking for the anticoagulant disclaimer and I did not find it. So lemon essential oil is phototoxic, and they do have that here. It is correct. 2% topical max is accurate for that. Hey, Leela! Thanks for joining me. All right. Lemon myrtle. That is one. Is that under myrtle or under lemon? I can never remember. Yes, myrtle lemon. So this is a pretty risky essential oil here. Very low topical max, not safe for children, not safe for pregnancy or breastfeeding. This is one of the handful few of essential oils that I recommend avoiding completely. And this is correct. It does have a 0.7% topical max. It does also have drug interactions too, so you want to be super careful. Yeah, I would not recommend diffusing this for a pick-me-up. Yeah. All right, so let's move on to, see, we knew lime has a topical max. They probably have that flagged for phototoxicity. They did on the other one, so that's good. Sweet marjoram is good. That is definitely preferred over Spanish. So myrrh. Myrrh is not pregnancy safe, so let's see if they have that listed here, and they do. So that's good. Good to know. Nutmeg. So nutmeg, like fennel, is potentially carcinogenic. I believe that topical max is accurate. So yeah, so this is the East Indian, apparently, because they do have this 0.8%, which is the topical max for East Indian. It is psychotropic, potentially. Even a couple of drops inhaled can give a psychotropic effect. It's also potentially carcinogenic. So this is a little, and I've mentioned this on other companies as well. This, if used in excess statement, this can mean different things to different people. This could mean to some people, it could mean don't consume it, don't ingest it. But in reality, you have to use such a low amount even topically that a lot of people easily can go over not just the topical application, the topical max for applications, but even inhaled. Just a couple of drops inhaled can cause serious issues. So I prefer to recommend that people avoid this because it is really tricky to use within safe guidelines, and there's really no therapeutic reason to use nutmeg essential oil. There are benefits, you could say, to using nutmeg essential oil, but they can be found in other essential oils that don't also have the risks. So I would be super careful. Directions. So they don't, okay, so up here they're telling you 0.8%, but here for the directions, if somebody missed that, they're simply saying just to add some to a carrier. That's not very specific, and I feel like people easily can overdo that and cause problems to themselves. Add a couple of drops to an ounce of milk. So again, what does a couple of drops mean? Now, for me, a couple means 2, and a few is 3 or more. Others, a couple may mean 6 or 4. We don't know that. And I would definitely recommend a carrier oil and not milk. Sometimes milk is not fatty enough to be a proper carrier. And again, nutmeg is one that I recommend people avoid completely because it's just so risky. Yes, Leela, I agree. Don't have fennel or nutmeg. Prefer to use the spice itself. Yes, I do. I cannot see your name, but whoever is the last person, I can add you. That's so cool. Whoever's the last person, I cannot unfortunately see your name or photo, but I do have other brands reviewed over on my Using Essential Oils Safely YouTube channel. All right, so let's come down here. I keep forgetting to use the add to broadcast. So, hey, Leela, I keep forgetting to use this feature, but I really like it. It's super fun. I'm going to have to keep remembering to use that. Alrighty, so oregano essential oil. This has quite a few safety issues, and I'm always flipping to my page because although I have some of the safety memorized, I want to make sure that I do get it right when I'm here live with you guys. So, yes, this is not safe for children under the age of 2 to apply topically. It is not safe for use during pregnancy and breastfeeding, and yes, it is a powerful skin irritant. It does have a 1.1% topical max if you choose to use it topically, but beyond that, it still has a lot of safety issues. So let's see what they have for directions. It is true that this is a powerhouse essential oil. It is definitely best reserved for tough issues. You have to be super careful when using it. And this does look like the typical disclaimer that I've seen on all of the other ones. So in addition to that, I would add a flag that it's anti-coagulant. This is very, very, very anticoagulant. So even if you are not on blood thinners, even if you don't take aspirin, even if you only take a baby aspirin, if you are prone to nosebleeds, but even if you aren't, this could cause nosebleeds, but this is blood thinning. So this is a serious safety concern that I would like to see listed here. There are other essential oils that I reviewed in the beginning of this live that were also anticoagulant that should have the flag. And I've seen other companies as well that don't have that listed, but for me, if an essential oil is blood thinning, that is super, super important to know and should be listed as part of safety information here. This also has drug interactions too, by the way, and should never be used on broken skin. Another thing that I would like to see added here as well. Faith is saying plant therapy doesn't recommend milk anymore. Okay, well, they need to know to take that down. Pretty excited about this review. Thank you for doing this. You are welcome. I'm excited as well. Sarah, I'm not able to click the add to broadcast for some reason, but you are saying thank you. I have friends who keep giving me oils to use for my kiddos and myself. I'm so hesitant to use because I don't know what is safe. Well, I have learned that you cannot rely on the website, no matter what brand it is, for full and complete safety information. That is what I've learned. So you definitely need to have a resource, whether it's purchasing one of my resources, whether it's accessing the free levels or versions of one of my resources, whether it's simply asking in this group for safety information, we will help you. So you can find at ueoslibrary.com, you can find some resources over there. Some of them I do have free versions of as well, so that you can be informed of the true safety and not rely on a website. Leela is saying, for some reason I can't click add to broadcast on this one, Leela. I don't know why. Disappointed that oils that are anticoagulant are not flagged. I agree. I think it's super important, and I would like to see all of the companies add that to their safety information that they do have. So let's see. Peppermint. Peppermint is one that is not recommended to use under the age of 6 based on the menthol, mimicking cold receptors in the lungs of children. This says it's not KidSafe, which is accurate. 5.4% is the topical max for peppermint. The do not apply on or near the face of infants and children is a good step in the right direction. The purpose for that, though, like I mentioned on eucalyptus, is so they don't inhale it. So, AKA, do not let them breathe this in if they are under the age of 6. Let's take a look at the directions. Diluted. So there's no guideline here specifically. I know they do say 5% up here. Gotcha. People may not see that. I've learned you need to have numbers everywhere because people may skip and not see it there, but they may need to have it here. Applied to the temples and back of the neck when having a head and neck tension. That can be useful, but I find for headaches or migraines that inhalation is going to be super, super, super duper effective without having to use topically. Again, adding well diluted can mean different things to different people. So I would like to see a specific dilution mentioned here. As far as an uplifting massage, yeah, I would say more invigorating. Using peppermint in a massage would definitely be invigorating. Michelle saying, I'm so thankful to have found you. Thanks for sharing your wealth of knowledge. You are welcome. Daniel is saying, so the possibly carcinogenic oils you mentioned, is it because of raising estrogen levels? Not always. That's not always the case. There are some essential oils that are potentially carcinogenic that aren't that do not interfere with estrogen levels in the body and that are not reproductive hormone modulators. So the two are not synonymous. And as far as having low estrogen, the thing is, essential oils do not contain hormones, but trickily enough, a couple of them can interfere if you have estrogen issues. It can actually possibly interfere with that. There's enough questions raised about it that we do suggest to be careful if you've had estrogen-related cancer or if you have endometriosis, that you want to avoid certain essential oils because of the possibility of those interfering in those situations. But essential oils do not contain hormones, so they will not directly affect the levels of estrogen or testosterone or progesterone or any of those other hormones in your body. So unknown person, OMG this, I have too many friends who push for us to use peppermint oil on our kids for fevers. They say to rub it on spine to help lower fever. Yeah, don't recommend that. Don't recommend that. Applying anything to your spine is not going to lower your fever. And fevers are actually useful. They are causing your body to have a bit higher temperature to kill off those germs and invaders. So for the most part, you want to let fevers do their thing. I've never done this because it didn't feel right in my gut. Well, listen to your gut. It's often right. So moving on to, let me do just one more single essential oil, and then we are going to move on to blends to see how those are formulated. So let's go ahead on rosemary. This is one that's for ages 10 plus. They do indicate, which I appreciate because the botanical name does not always indicate the chemotype, but they do have that clearly listed here. This is the cineol chemotype. This specific chemotype is for ages 10 and above. So they are correct. It's not KidSafe. Just to repeat myself, the intention of not applying to or not applying near the face of children is to avoid them from inhaling it. is to prevent them from inhaling it so that they do not have adverse reactions. Interesting, they have a 4% topical max on this because that is not something that I would have suggested. Rosemary does not have a topical max, so that is interesting they have that there. I'm not sure why that would be. Let's see, directions. I would like to see specific drops mentioned here. Again, I realize they do have a topical max listed here, over here, but people aren't always going to see that. This is great for tests. I see they're recommending before a big test, make an inhaler with rosemary and lemon. That would be great. That would be very effective. Something that's missed here with digestive issues, that a lot of the times inhalation is going to be just as effective as applying topically. Alrighty. Perfect. So let's go ahead up to their blends and take a look at some of these. Let's take a look at the anti-age synergy. So I have reviewed some of these. I don't have them all memorized, but I have reviewed quite a few of these over at eoblendsafety.com. So you can see my detailed breakdown of the different blends, the ages that they are safe for, and all of that. And I do have a free level as well in case you are interested. I believe this is one that I do have over there. I don't remember what my end result was. I'd have to look at the ingredients again. Okay, Palmarosa, Rosalina, Copaiba, frankincense, sandalwood, and neroli rose. Yeah, so this would be a great anti-aging. Not really sure about the Palmarosa specifically. Probably also wouldn't have necessarily added the Rosalina. Copaiba is generally going to be great for pain. But when we get down to the frankincense, excellent for skin. Sandalwood, great for skin. Neroli and rose, also great for skin. Curious to know their directions because rose has a very low topical max. So rose absolute has like a 0.5%, could be 0.6. Let me see what they have. Rose absolute. Oh, rose absolute has a 2.5% topical max. Good to know. So it's rose essential oil that has the 0.6% topical max. Good to know. So the directions, they're suggesting 2%. I generally recommend 1% for the face and then 2% for the body when you are talking anti-aging. Yeah, topical use only. So that looks pretty good. That looks pretty good. I have not reviewed Revive yet. And yeah, all of those I haven't. I just started. I just did Jade Bloom and now I'm on to plant therapy. I'm doing it in order of your suggestions as posted in the group. So I will get through all of them eventually. And if you are watching this recording in the future, I may have already gotten to that. Let's take a look at balance. Ingredients. Palmarosa again. Lavender, petit gras, clary sage, geranium, ylang ylang, rose, jasmine, neroli. Yeah, so for the most part, these are really great for not balancing the hormones, but making you feel emotionally balanced. I do have a question just for me. Whenever I look at this, I can't help but think what the dilution is because ylang ylang has a very, very low topical max. We just talked about rose, jasmine, and neroli. Or jasmine has a very, very low topical max as well. So hopefully they are keeping that in mind in this blend. They are suggesting a 3% dilution. Now, honestly, if you are trying to feel emotionally balanced, inhaling this is going to be the most effective way. And it looks like a lot of their suggestions indicate that. Diffusing, making a perfume or a body mist. Alrighty. Yes, 1% for face serum is perfect. It smells really good. Good to know. Good to know. I don't know if you're talking about the balance or the anti-age that I just reviewed, but it does sound like that it would smell really great. Alrighty, so let's see what else there. I know there's so many here. Let's see. Let's do this digestive one. Zen. I know this is one that you guys ask me about a lot. And let's take a look at the ingredients. Yeah, so the fennel and anise, those are both potentially carcinogenic. So just like the Jade Bloom blend that I reviewed, I told you that these are great as herbs. These are great in an herbal tea. They're great to consume as herbs or spices for digestion. But unfortunately, the essential oils are potentially carcinogenic. Now the peppermint, the ginger, those are great. Lemongrass, I would prefer to see lemon. I do see here that they are recommending not to use during pregnancy and breastfeeding, which I'm glad to see, and endometriosis and estrogen sensitive cancers. But apart from that, it's still potentially carcinogenic. So I would not recommend using fennel or anise in blends or by themselves at all. That's just personally something that I would not feel comfortable with recommending. I just knowing the risks involved with that. Let's take a look at the energy. Let's see if these are, so orange, peppermint, lemon, ginger. Yeah, so that would be great for energy. Geranium is generally calming, but it appears if they are adding these in the blend in order of the way they're listed, which isn't always the case, a little bit of geranium in there probably would be great. All right, so let's take a look at let's take a look at Germ Fighter. I think I skipped past a bunch. They have so many blends. So if you guys have any questions about specific blends, let me know in the comments below. I will not be able to get through all of these. I was trying to kind of keep these lives to about 20 minutes. I don't know how much that I've gone. I'm already at 30 minutes right now. So a lot of you aren't going to want to watch the whole thing. Let's see, lemon, clove, eucalyptus, cinnamon, and rosemary. So yeah, definitely not safe for kids. This would be for ages 10 and above. Correct on, well, wait a second, pregnancy or breastfeeding. Oh, because of cassia. Yeah, that would be correct. Do not use undiluted on the skin. That's probably because of the lemon, which is phototoxic. I would be more specific on this because, I mean, what age are kids, right? So this is safe for ages 10 and above to inhale. However, there are a couple of essential oils in here that are anti-coagulant. So this is something people need to be aware of. Directions: mix 1 drop with 1 tablespoon of carrier oil. So that would be, okay, massage into your feet. There's really no purpose for germ fighting essential oils to be massaged into your feet. They should be inhaled. They can be applied topically in a hand sanitizer, but massaging onto the feet is not really going to kind of keep you from getting sick. You want to make sure you are breathing those in and inhaling them, which clearly you are doing. If you are applying them to your feet, you're going to smell it too, but it is best in a personal inhaler so that those anti-germ essential oils can kind of get in your lungs as you are breathing, potentially sick germs in the air. Okay, so next, let's click on another one. Yeah, they have pages and pages and pages. Let's just click on a couple more. I think I've given you guys enough information to make your own assessments. So to be clear, essential oils do not boost the immune system. I see here they have immune aid. They can support the immune system, but they do not boost the immune system. That's what you want to look to herbs for, especially elderberry. But what they can do is kill germs. So kind of, in a sense, we were like, oh, these essential oils are helping to boost my immune system. They're not technically. They can kill germs, which can prevent you from being sick, but they don't technically boost the immune system. So we have frankincense, which is usually great for skin, not necessarily for germ killing. Tea tree is excellent for germ killing. Rosemary, so this would be a blend that would be safe for ages 10 and above. We have lemon, which is great, eucalyptus 10 and above, and sweet orange. Okay, so that would be 10 and above for that blend. Are you going to be able to go through any KidSafe blends? Yes, sure, I can absolutely do that. So let me go ahead and click on some KidSafe blends here. I've not reviewed Eden's Garden yet. Let me click on, sorry, I was trying to click that off so it's not in the way. Perfect. Alrighty, so let's take a look at some of these blends here. Let's see. Ear Ease. So this is one. See, I remember. Okay, so this is one I definitely want to draw your attention to because first, let's go to the ingredients. We have lavender, rosalina, tea tree, palmarosa, chamomile, roman, hemp seed carrier oil. So these are safe for children. These essential oils. Applying on the outside of the ear is preferred. You can apply a couple of drops to a cotton wad and apply partially into the ear. But this is the one that I don't like. This is the one that is unsafe. And I remember when this blend first came out, all of us aromatherapists were going, no, you can't apply essential oils into the ear. So I do not recommend following this guideline. So they're suggesting to check with your doctor first. A lot of us won't do this, right? You definitely want to make sure before adding anything to the ear that you know that it's not perforated first. So this is something that you can check yourself with a camera wand that you can put in your ear. You can get them on Amazon, $20 or $30. You can hook them up to your computer. I actually just got one a couple of weeks ago. It's pretty cool. And you can usually see if the eardrum is broken, but never add essential oils, even diluted, into the ear canal. So this is something that I want to make sure you guys know is not going to be safe. Please do not do this. You can purchase a garlic mullein blend that is an herbal blend that is safe and highly recommended to insert into the ear, but never essential oils. We make elderberry syrup throughout the year, especially during winter. Elderberry syrup is amazing. It's absolutely amazing. So let's take a look at, let's see, Grow Ease. I think I did this one recently on my blends safety files. Ingredients: juniper, rosalina, black spruce, and blue tansy. So is this for like growing pains? I can think of other essential oils that would be best for pains. Let's see what their directions are. So in a bath, body wash. So that could be okay. 2 to 4% is not bad depending on the age of the child. Yeah, so aches and leg cramps. I probably would choose different essential oils, honestly. These are best for congestion, and blue tansy is great for allergies, but honestly, I don't think that I would create this blend and then say, oh, this is great for leg pains. It may work for some people. I don't know. It may work. I personally don't feel like it's going to be that effective. Let's see what else. We kind of went over how I feel about immune boom as far as the term goes, but let's see how this works for germs. So we have lemon, palmarosa, dill, petitgrass, copaiba, frankincense. Copaiba and frankincense are excellent for the skin. Lemon is great for germs. Palmarosa is probably also great for germs. I typically think of it more as a skincare oil. This would be great for skincare. As for killing germs, well, all essential oils are antibacterial, so I guess I can't complain about that. Let's see. Let's look at Nighty Night. Let's see if they have any sedatives in here. So we have lavender, marjoram, mandarin, cedarwood, patchouli, clary sage, chamomile, and blue tansy. So there's some calming essential oils here, and then we have the one sedative, which is cedarwood. But this probably would work for calming for lots of people. This is definitely a calming one. They're suggesting topical use. I prefer inhalation. When you want something for calming or sedative purposes, then inhalation is going to be a lot more effective. They do suggest diffusing as well, 30 on and 30 off. Yeah, that's fine too. All right, so let's do poop ease. Okay, I'm sorry, gotta click on this one. All right, ingredients: chamomile, orange, caraway, patchouli, sandalwood, ginger, copaiba, mandarin. So these look like kind of calming essential oils. Apply to the lower abdomen in 2 to 4%. Well, just the circular motion can help with constipation. Yeah, but inhalation can also be really great. Honestly, for constipation, I generally don't recommend essential oils. I generally recommend, there's a traditional medicinals tea called Smooth Moves, and that's what I would recommend. Teas are generally going to be more effective when we are talking about constipation than essential oils. It probably won't hurt though. Alrighty, so I have done a ton of reviews on this for single essential oils, for blends, but if you have any suggestions, those of you watching the replay as well, for if you are wondering, because we went over in detail on some of the profiles, some of the recommendations, some of the things that I do agree with, some of the things I don't agree with. So if you are looking at any of these profiles and you have a question like, okay, Leah, is this actually accurate? Does this truly reflect accurate safety? Or what do you think about this recommendation? Do you think this blend is going to be effective? Just let me know in the comments and I will take a peek and I will review that for you. So thank you, Angela. You are so sweet. You are so sweet. So I am going to upload this to YouTube. You can find all of my brand reviews on my Using Essential Oils Safely channel. I created a new one recently, pretty much just for the brand reviews. I have some lives as well that I've thrown up on there, so it's a relatively new channel, but take a peek if you are interested in following that for more brand reviews. So I'm going to upload this to YouTube right now. This is probably the last one I'm going to be doing today. So I hope you enjoyed the review, and I will talk to you later. See ya.